Thank you. I came to ask you 2 questions tonight. So I was digging through and I just couldn't find any more information on, I understand that we don't, well, I guess I'm asking, do we have a police contract? I didn't see where it was finished up.
We don't have a new contract.
We don't have a,
Still
so,
under the old one.
so we don't have a new contract. So we just extended the old one?
Right, we're running under the old one.
Yeah, it's a retro, or it's right now, whatever's in place from that previous contract carries forward until.
Why don't we have a new contract yet?
Because we're still negotiating over insurance premiums.
What's the sticking point?
3%, we're asking the police to pay 3% of their insurance premium.
And they don't want to pay the 3%, or they don't?
No, they don't want to.
Well, I don't blame them.
No.
But have we closed all the loopholes in that contract? You know, like, I don't know why that can't just, like, finish up. We go into arbitration,
We
which
could
is
be.
not great for the township.
No, it's not.
So I was just kind of hoping you could close that up. I just think that the police deserve to have that contract.
I agree.
I feel like when we have an elementary school in the district, I think it's really important that we show support for the police, and if they don't really want to pay the 3%, I'm okay with that. But, you know, that's just me. But I'm okay with it because I do want to back the police. I just think that's an extremely important part of this township is the police department. Given just, you know, watch the news, the things that they go through. And I know it seems like this is West Vincent Township and, oh gee, nothing happens here, but things do happen. And you don't know when it's gonna happen. And we have an elementary school here that, you know, if there is anything that happens there, I want the police there immediately, you know, and we can't wait for the state police. So I'm concerned that, you know, we need to get, and I'm gonna ask the board to please get this contract finished up. And I know that you're doing the negotiating, but just give them the 3% of health insurance. Like most departments don't pay anything towards it. Some do, some don't.
A lot
Just
do. And all of our citizens also do. The
Okay.
ones paying the bill
And we're not asking
are,
any citizen to run into any place with a gun drawn. We're not asking any citizen to run toward firepower. Okay, we're just not. The police are asked to do things that none of us are asked to do. I have great respect for them, a great respect for any person who will do that, and I feel like
same
just
as
give them,
firefighters.
give them well, the police are the ones with the guns, okay? They're the targets. They're a
But
target.
running
as soon
into
as they
danger
put-
is another job too.
Yeah.
Police and fire. And fire don't run into guns.
And that's another issue, because we don't have a paid staff. We
That's correct.
have a paid police department.
And we do, and
Go
we're
ahead.
negotiating.
I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels about it. I feel like just please finish on the contract, get the contract signed, give them the 3% if that's what they need. Because we do ask our police to do things that we don't ask anyone else to do, and no one else wants to do it. We get to run away, they don't, okay? And we have an elementary school. Now, let's face it, you can't see these things coming, okay? I don't want them prepared to do that. I don't want them feeling like they don't have the full support of the township.
They do, and they're still doing it.
They're doing it, but, so then I had one other question, and I don't know where this fits, because this is just one of those things that people are talking about. But we have an actual supervisor that is calling for transparency. What don't we know? What has not been transparent? What don't we know?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm hearing on the street, and, I'm hearing this.
Better check the street, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm talking about people talking about, you know, a supervisor calling for transparency. We need transparency. It worries me.
Oh, you think that's a good thing?
I think, well, it is, transparency is wonderful, and it's something that is we should always have had. What I'm asking
agree.
is, if you're calling for transparency, you must see a problem. What's the problem? What don't we know? I want to know what we don't know. I mean, transparency is always good. I just assume that's part of your job, and I assumed it's there. It's part of the job. So what don't we know?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
It's
transparency.
first reactor, well, that's all I know to do.
I think that's what we're trying to get here.
We
We're trying to get it, or we have it?
That's what we're trying to do. We just not.
But that's what I'm saying, if we're trying to get it, what don't we know?
Okay, you requesting more is good.
No, I don't think I am, I'm asking a question.
I don't know anything we don't know.
Okay, then we probably have transparency, right?
We do now, we
We didn't
So we don't need
used
to-
to.
We didn't used to.
Did you see the financial reports there?
Yeah, I looked at that.
You
I'm
looked at
asking about
Did you
right
look at
now,
them?
I'm asking about right now, and I'm saying that there's someone, you're calling for transparency, but what don't we, don't?
I thought we talking politics now.
No, maybe we are, I don't know.
Okay, if it's a campaign issue of transparency, is that what you're asking?
I don't know, if it's a, I don't know. I never said I was against it, no, I'm for it, because I'm asking, what don't we know? I am asking, what don't we know? If you're calling for transparency, which we should already have. I think I have the floor. I think I have the floor, thank you.
Okay, who is calling for transparency?
Well, this is what I'm hearing from chatter on, people I'm talking to.
Okay, well, talk to them, ask them, I mean, we don't have
They don't
anything.
know what, no, that's why I'm asking the question. No, they're saying, what don't we know? And I'm going, I don't know, I'll just go ask.
I can't help them, I mean, let's say yes.
Yes, they answered.
So,
I
okay,
think
so
it's a
you're not,
good thing.
We know-
nobody's saying it's not a good thing.
And we also,
Don't
and we
ask.
already said there is transparency in this
Okay,
administration.
so then we don't have to call for it, right?
No.
So we're good, we have transparency.
But we're not calling for it, I don't know who's calling for this.
That's what I'm hearing, that people are calling for.
Okay, well, talk to them, find out, ask them who
That's
this is
supervisor
coming
calling for
from.
transparency.
Well, ask them what supervisor, I'd like to know.
Well, maybe they'll come to the meeting.
Well, that'd be a
Maybe
great
ask the
thing.
question.
All right, thank you.
That was pleasant, thank you.
Excellent. All right, next.
I just wanted to say that I know part of the transparency problem is 5 years ago, 8 years ago, I would come looking for financial information and they made me pay 10 cents a page to get it. And it was incomplete. And I think that, so there are people looking backwards and want to make sure we never go back that way again. So if there is some talk about that, it may just be that now we actually see. I mean, Erica tells the whole thing. Every quarter we get this great thing. John can look at it and tell us all the nitpicks about it. That never used to happen. And I think
And that's fine.
if there's people talking about it, that it may just be, let's never ever go backwards.
If people are talking about it, I'd like to know what they think is not transparent, because then that's something
That's
we
what
would
I
look at.
asked.
Yeah, we would like to
That's what I
know.
asked, what don't we know?
Well, do you have to ask the person that's asking, because they're
I was asking
asking.
the person who was, I was asking the person who was calling for transparency.
And
Someone on the board.
one of the words that's thrown around these days is transparency, and I don't think it's really a good word. I think really you want responsiveness, and as Maria said, hey, this board is much more responsive. I get response from the staff a lot better than we had in years gone by. But the question is, when someone is accused of being not being something, asking that person what they're doing wrong, it's an answer. I don't see how you can get an answer from the person being accused by somebody else. It makes no logical sense at all. It's got to go back to whoever's going and saying that they're not transparent or there's not responsiveness. That's the person to go and ask, and
I
find out
asked.
from them.
That's what I was asking.
No, you were asking the people that were being accused of not being transparent,
Sir.
what are they doing wrong?
Yes,
And
sir.
it's a non-logical question.
You were talking about people on the street saying that a supervisor is asking for transparency. Okay, well,
Saying that we need transparency, that we
okay,
need
good,
transparency.
let's
So-
find that person.
So my question was, what don't we know? If transparency is needed, I was trying to find out from those.
Okay, but if somebody says that, doesn't mean it is. So we need to talk to that person that said that to you, the chatter, whoever that chatter person is, we need that person here.
They don't have a clue what isn't transparent.
But why are they asking that?
If you have a
I need
mission-
to hide.
Jesus.
If you
All right,
have a
enough.
mission statement
No, I
to
just-
strive towards something, does that mean that you're deficient in it?
What?
If you have a mission statement to strive towards something, whether it be fiscal soundness, transparency, does that mean you don't have that stuff? And that you're hiding it, and that you're inefficient? Or does
That was
it
the
mean
question.
that that's what you should every day think about?
And strive for
Figure
it.
out your
That's the
duties.
question, that's the question.
Yeah, that was perfect. Okay, that's, Barry.
Usually what that's termed is a straw man argument. It's an answer you can't give because it's a question that's coming up that you can't answer. So it just makes you look foolish. So if you chase it, you're chasing something that's a waste of time. It's used in campaigns all the time. So I recommend you run away from it. Second thing is, let's be fully transparent, and why don't we explain to Ms. Trolier exactly what happened in the police contract, in the negotiations, where you wanted to pay the extra 3%, but what were you willing to do in order for them to pay that 3% on the insurance?
Okay, before we go further, Rob,
Yeah, I
can
mean,
we
we're
discuss
in the
this?
middle of negotiations.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
There was an offer on the table, and it has been spoken at township meetings before already. It was addressed here before, so it should be able to be, this is
It's been talked
this is
about.
in
We
it
have
has been
talked
talked
about
about
it before.
You can
Talk
clearly,
about the offer though, not the negotiation.
That's
right, you can clearly explain
You are.
how they were actually gonna make more money
Okay.
doing it.
Statement on the website.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
statement on the statement,
So
just so
please
you know.
explain that. Thank you.
Okay, I will. Just so you know, we offered an additional raise to cover that 3%. Okay?
Okay.
Which would have actually put,
Additional raise to cover the 3% of the premium they would have to pay.
And is that 3%, is it capped at 3% in the entire contract?
Yes, actually.
Is it, what they would have to pay is capped in the contract?
Well,
What they would have to pay?
it
is
was at
capped?
that time. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, it's not anymore?
Again, we are in negotiations, anything could change. So we can't discuss any changes. Yes, John?
Is it
Mike,
somebody else's?
Mike,